ประเทศอินเดียเป็นหนึ่งในประเทศที่มี GDP growth สูงสุดในกลุ่ม Major Economies โดยในปี 2025 นะคะเศรษฐกิจอินเดียโตถึง 6% นอกจากนี้ยังมีประชากรที่มากที่สุดเป็นอันดับหนึ่งของโลกแซงหน้าประเทศจีนอย่างเป็นทางการและ Corporate Earning เติบโต Double Digit Growth แต่ที่ 20% คำถามกองทุนอินเดียยังน่าลงทุนไหมและนี่คือรายการ The Big Shot Hello, today we are here at Kotak Mahindra Asset Management in Mumbai with Mr. Nilisha, the CEO and Managing Director at Kotak Asset Management. Hi Nilisha.
Namaste and Swasti.
Namaste. Great to have you with us. So I have a lot of questions for the investor. Shall we start?
Yes, please.
Okay, just a couple questions about the overall outlook picture. How resilient are Indian market to global shock today compared to the previous cycle? And how do the factor like US interest rate, foreign flow influence India equities?
Compared to the past, today Indian economy and market both are resilient. In the past, Indian talent used to migrate abroad in search of better opportunities, which is why in many Fortune 500 companies you will find Indian origin CEOs like Satya Nadella, Sundar Pichai. Today, a large part of talent is staying back in India. In the past, our infrastructure was not developed. Mumbai-Pune, a 150-kilometer journey sometimes became an overnight journey. Today, there are expressways connecting Mumbai and Pune. We can transit 150 km in 2.5 hours. And finally, this talent and infrastructure is getting capital. Earlier, if your parents didn't give you money, it was difficult to be a businessman. But today, if you have business idea, there are venture capital funds, private equity funds who are happy to give you money. So this talent, infrastructure and capital coming together is creating growth story of India and making it resilient against rest of the world's geopolitical situation.
So if we're looking ahead, do you think what is the upcoming catalyst that is going to support Indian market?
We are already trading at one of the highest valuation in the world. That high valuation has inbuilt expectation of superior earnings growth and better governance. Governance, I am very confident that with the regulator watching, corporate governance will continue to improve. On earnings growth, for last 1.5 years, it was mid-single digit. Now it is expected to go to double digit. More importantly, it is likely to sustain for the foreseeable future. We are the fastest growing major economy in the world. Entrepreneurship is blossoming and infrastructure is built. Government is also encouraging reforms. Put together, do we foresee double digit earnings growth for the sustainable future? Quite likely.
Okay. So you talk about the valuation. So can I ask some questions about how should investor interpret today's market valuation and do the fundamentals justify the current valuations?
Undoubtedly, valuations are not cheaper vis-a-vis other emerging market. But in last decade, Nifty 50, which is India's blue chip company, they had an earnings growth of about 180% in rupee terms. On the other hand, China, which is a much larger economy, their CSI 300 index had an EPS growth of about 10% in renminbi terms. Now 10 in renminbi, 118 rupee are different currencies, but the gap is too wide.
Yes.
It is this earnings growth which gives us confidence that such valuations are required. On top of it, there is governance. Some of the largest companies in India are owned majority by foreigners. The largest automobile company, the largest bank, the largest mutual fund, the largest FMCG company, the largest telecom company. These are all majority owned by foreigners. There is respect for foreign capital. So the growth and governance put together does justify the current valuation. Undoubtedly, India will have to deliver to meet those expectations.
That's a very good point. So can I ask the straightforward question like, is it the right time for investor to come back into the market?
Undoubtedly, yes. But the operative word here is investor. If you are looking for, say, next 3 months, next 6 months, next 9 months, maybe there are other better markets to invest. But if you are looking for next 10 years, next 20 years, there is no better market than India. In last 25 years, the only emerging market which has delivered almost similar return like US is India. Rest of the emerging markets don't even come nearby. That has happened because of growth and governance. So for an investor, India is part of their core portfolio. Undoubtedly, valuations are at a premium to other emerging markets, but relative to its own earnings growth, I will still call it attractive valuation to invest. But please come with a longer term horizon. In the short term, anything can happen.
Okay, very clear on the overall market of India. So let's take a deeper look at India market. How does India long-term investment case differ from other emerging markets today?
In most emerging markets, there is specialization. Taiwan, the semiconductor and fabrication is large part of their market. South Korea, electronics, automobiles, semiconductor remains large part of their market.
Yeah.
There are very few countries which are as big as a continent. US, China, India. These are the three markets where almost large continent is present in their own country. Indian market gives you diversification. There are export players like IT services. There are domestic players like the FMCG company. There are global players like the multinationals listed in India from Unilever to Nestle to Suzuki. And then there are domestic companies which are established in India but have presence all over the world like Tata Motors. So this is one emerging market where you are not exposed to just one industry. You have multiple industries available operating in India, operating outside India. Diversification, I think, is the biggest strength for India because there is hardly any emerging market other than China which provides this kind of breadth.
Okay, let's talk about the government policy. So do you think what some significant policy that is going to support the market?
So we are a democracy. In democracy, you move forward by building consensus. Unlike autocracy where decision can be imposed, in democracy, decisions have to be evolved. The government has been focused on growth. We have this government in place for last almost 11 years under 3 different terms. In the first term, they build infrastructure. In last 11 years, we have doubled our infrastructure. That infrastructure spending will continue. Second, they focused on manufacturing. We were importing a lot more. Then they announced production-linked incentive scheme. They improved ease of doing business. And today, Apple iPhones are manufactured in India and are being exported. Now the focus is on services, medical tourism, healthcare. So overall, the government push is to kickstart manufacturing, infrastructure and services all together. When this government came to power in 2014, we were 10th largest economy globally. As we speak, we have become 4th largest. And over the next couple of years, we will become 3rd largest, overtaking Germany.
Okay, speaking of artificial intelligence and technology, do you think where does India currently stand and how the companies positioning themselves to benefit from emerging growth sectors?
So essentially, India hasn't developed their own LLM like ChatGPT, Gemini, perplexity. There are many Indians who have worked in global companies to develop these LLMs, but in India, we haven't yet created our own LLM. The first attempts are being made to create LLMs. Hopefully, in near future, we will have our own LLM. But apart from LLM, you require apps which will work on these LLMs to deliver solution. For example, today there are many people who believe an AI-assisted interpretation of medical record will be far more successful. But today, if you put your data on LLM, there is worry about secrecy. There is worry about hallucination. Hence, you will require an app using the LLMs so that customers can use it without worrying about secrecy and privacy. I think this is where India has an opportunity. We have 1.4 billion users. We have developers who can create app using someone else's LLM, and they can provide cheaper, better, faster solutions to customer. Indian IT industry has transited from Y2K to application development and management to cloud and data. Now they will migrate to AI.
Absolutely. So before ending this program, there are a couple questions I would like to ask for investor. So how do you differentiate between the great business and great stock?
Very good question. A great business is one which will run for long and whose return on equity is more than the cost of capital. If you earn 8% and you have to pay 12%, you will become bankrupt. But if you are earning 12% and you have to pay only 8%, you will continue to grow. Great stock, on the other hand, is a stock which will deliver more than the expectation. Under promise, over deliver, that's the sign of a great stock. Many a times business could be great, but stock may not be great because expectations are much more higher. So not only we focus upon great business, but we also focus upon the valuation. Price is what you pay, value is what we get.
Yes. And the last question, if you have to give one piece of advice to young investors starting to invest today, what would it be?
So I have two young daughters and I don't think so they listen to me. So thank you for asking this question, and I sincerely hope that young audience listen to me. There are 4 things they have to follow. 1, income minus expenditure is equal to savings is not the right equation. Income minus savings equal to expenditure should be the right equation. Please develop this habit of saving something. Whatever small amount you can save, that culture, that habit will come very handy. Number 2, little drops of water make an ocean. Start saving. Even if it is small amount, doesn't matter. Over a period of time, compounding will create wonders for you. Third, don't put all eggs in one basket. Right now, gold and silver has done extremely well. That doesn't mean that you go and put all your portfolio in gold and silver. You have to diversify yourself across debt, equity, gold, real estate. In equity, both local as well as global. And finally, the 4th thing, be a long-term investor. Everyone wants to be rich overnight, but there's no shortcut. 99% of Warren Buffett's wealth was built after he crossed 50 years of age. So play for long term, invest for long term. If you follow these 4 things, income minus savings equal to expenditure, regular investment, disciplined investment across various asset classes, and long term investment, I think your financial security is guaranteed.
So long-term investment, absolutely agree. Thank you very much for taking time with us. It's very insightful session.
Thank you.
สำหรับกองทุน B-INDIAMRMF ถือเป็นหนึ่งในสตาร์ของกลุ่ม Country Fund ประเด็นที่สำคัญไม่ใช่ว่าที่ผ่านมาอินเดียเติบโตเท่าไหร่แต่เป็นการมองไปข้างหน้าว่าจะมีอะไรปัจจัยอะไรบ้างที่สนับสนุนอินเดียไม่ว่าจะเป็นโครงสร้างประชากรที่มากและนโยบายการสนับสนุนจากภาครัฐเรามองว่าอินเดียยังคงเป็นขาขึ้นในระยะยาว